Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm going to go a little off script today. I know we were going to talk about spring awakening, the promises of spring, and we will. We're actually not going to talk about that. We're going to do a little bit of Reiki, some Reiki Infused Meditation, actually, which I think will be a really nice thing to end, a nice way to end this week. But I did want to have just a little bit of a honest moment at the beginning of this. When I started this channel, this YouTube channel, I just wanted to provide an opportunity for other people to connect. It was originally for actually my clients to come in and have, if they had any questions that they needed answers to, or if there was something that we were working on, for them to have that kind of safe space. And then I got a little bit of feedback of like, could you do more like meditations? Could you do more Reiki with the lives? And I was like, sure, of course I can. That's what I do, right? And I was really good with that. And it has been an interesting journey. I have enjoyed it, definitely. And I'm not going anywhere, but I know that the energy that I'm feeling, the energy that I'm tapping into may not always be the energy of where you're at. And that's okay. But I do want to acknowledge that anything that I'm providing or anything that I'm bringing out to the world through YouTube or any other way that I'm connecting with people is never meant to diagnose or treat certain conditions, whether it's medical or mental health. And I always encourage people to talk to a professional, talk to somebody that's trained and licensed to get some support, to get some guidance. And whatever that means for you, whatever you feel is an appropriate provider for you, I encourage you to seek that out, because I just had an experience earlier that, one of my clients was really, I'm a therapist as well as an energy worker, but, one of my clients was struggling, and I just wanted to let people know that there is help out there. And sometimes we don't know why things are happening to us at this particular time. Like, why is this coming up for me? And it can be really frustrating, and it can be really scary and overwhelming when we feel powerless, when we feel like things are out of our control. And I know it's really easy for all of us, or at least most of us, to sort of get swept away with that energy and feel like I can't change this. There's nothing that I can do about this. And in that moment, it may feel that way. But when we go back to center, when we get grounded, when we're able to calm and soothe not only the sympathetic nervous system, we just want to get that a little calm, a little offline, so we can bring up the parasympathetic nervous system where we can relax and just exist, I suppose. But we have strategies where we can sort of sort things out and see, why is this coming up for me now? Is there a message? This is all about where we turn those experiences that we have, the things that we either maybe know or the things that we can reflect upon, we turn that into our wisdom. Just like I was talking about a few weeks ago with the pain points, we're able to transform, hopefully, that information into wisdom that we can use for our highest good, so that we can make choices that feel right for us, so that we can take inspired action, so that we can really feel like we do have that power within our life. And I know that oftentimes when people are feeling that heaviness of the energy, when people are feeling very confused or afraid or worried, they seek out distraction. And we all do it, right? And sometimes it can be healthy distractions, sometimes not so healthy. And I know a lot of times people go to social media, whether it's this or something else. And just know that that can actually amp up some of the negativity that you're feeling, or some of the negative emotions that you're experiencing. And so to give yourself permission to take a break from that can be really, really helpful, so you don't get stuck in that comparison trap, or you don't get caught in that, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm stuck where I am in my life, and all these people are doing so much better. It's probably not true. And we want to be really honest, or at least I want to be really honest about everybody goes through ups and downs. Everybody does. And the days that I'm going through kind of like more of a down day or a difficult period in my life, I'm probably going to show up with different energy. And that's okay. But just to be honest and reflective in what you're feeling and like, what does that mean that I need to be doing for myself? So oftentimes I talk about self-care, and it doesn't just mean going to get a manicure, going to get a pedicure, those types of things, although that could be part of self care. But it's getting involved in activities that help you get back to feeling grounded, back into your body. We want to get away from all of the extraneous thoughts that are too busy and overwhelming. And then, some sort of activity that allows you to be present and allows you to release some of the tension. So, reading, it could be journaling, meditating, deep breathing, walking in nature, or just being in nature, playing with your kids or playing with your animals, just engaging in something that feels good, kind of feeds the spirit. So, that's what self care is. And so, sometimes it does mean going to bed a little bit earlier or getting up a little bit later. Sometimes it could be getting yourself a nice tea or a nice coffee, but it's really those activities that you're choosing to engage in that keeps you present, keeps you kind of focused on the here and now, and just allows you to release any of those extra thoughts. So I just wanted to start. I'm sorry for bringing the room down with this, but I just wanted to start with a couple of those thoughts that were on my mind. And I just really want to emphasize to everybody, there is always help out there. There's so many opportunities to receive help when you're struggling. So don't ever think like you have to do it by yourself. You're never alone. And there's always going to be a brighter day. I think when we're stuck in the heaviness, when we're stuck in the dark days, it feels like it's not going to end, or we can't see how this is going to have a positive resolution. But just know, I think that's when we start tapping back into hope that things are going to change, that things will get better, that things will be brighter. When we can anchor onto that thought of hope, that's when things expand and open up for us again. So, that being said, we are going to be doing a little bit of Reiki, and I was going to do Reiki Infused Meditation about these new beginnings for spring, about awakening or reawakening for spring. And now I'm feeling like I'm not sure if that's the right thing to be doing today, just with this energy. But I do still want to provide Reiki, and however you want to incorporate that into your day or this into your day is totally fine. Whether it's something you want to listen to, whether it's something that you want to kind of go about your day and just have it in the background, if it's something that you want to incorporate into your daily meditation or time to receive energy healing, that would be perfect as well. It is super windy outside, so hopefully all is well where you are. I can see that the wind is shaking my desk and shaking my computer, so that's kind of wild. But this is for me. So this spring, the spring energy. I'm in the northern hemisphere, so we're just starting spring. Is super exciting. I love this energy. The hope, like I said earlier, with when we're hoping to resolve struggle, but the hope of renewal, of rebirth. Thinking about the possibilities and the opportunities, the things that maybe we haven't gotten or received yet, but we're still hoping to do that. And oftentimes we have to retool the way that we're looking at, the situation, the experience, whatever the goal, the thing that we're hoping to manifest or bring into our life. And this is an opportunity to sort of get a little bit more clarity on what direction you want to go in. And it's always okay. You can always give yourself permission to like pivot, to change your mind and say, like, I thought that was the thing that I wanted, but I don't want that anymore. And that's okay too. So you can just consider this sort of like the brainstorming portion of your planning, that everything may not stick, and that's okay. Not everything is intended to. But sometimes when we have an idea, it leads to another, or we have an idea and it spurs us to take some action or reach out to somebody, and then we get new information that we didn't know, and so it can redirect us, to the place that we, I hate to say should, but the place that might feel better for us, that might be more aligned with where we need to be. So we're going to do a little bit of Reiki. And if you have never had Reiki before, this is considered distance Reiki. The kind of crazy thing to me with energy is it's not bound by time. It's not bound by space. We sort of have those limitations that we put on energy, and energy knows where it needs to go and it finds its own way. And so you are more than welcome to sit comfortably. You can lay down. You can be about your day. I just wouldn't suggest like driving and listening to this, or doing anything. I know they say like no operating heavy machinery, like stuff like that, when you need to be paying attention to something else like a meditation. But you're more than welcome to just affirm for yourself or affirm to your whatever your belief system, that I'm open to receiving. And we receive for, like I said before, our highest good. So it's never going to create negative energy within you. It's never going to transfer somebody's energy onto you or into your system. It's not like that at all. But it's an opportunity to release anything that hasn't been serving us and to kind of welcome in anything that's going to lift up our frequency, our vibration, and just make us feel whole and complete again. So I invite you to get comfortable. I'm going to light a little bit of sage and go a little bit slowly with this, just in case anybody else is struggling out there, just in case anybody else is feeling confused or feeling alone or feeling like I don't have all the answers. Well, you don't have to have all the answers. It's okay that you don't. That's why we have help. I just put out on it's one of my stories on Instagram. I loved this message, and it was I'll probably get it. I'm terrible with names, but Neil Tyson deGrasse. I can't remember his name, but I know everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows him. But yeah, I probably just hammered his name. But he was talking about how when a tree gets cut down, all the area trees send their roots, send their energy, their water, their nutrients, their vitality to that tree that has just been, cut down. And the root structure can continue to live basically, unless it's, uprooted or whatever. And he was saying, but it's not limited just to the trees. It's all the other plants too that come together. And I think that's it's such an important lesson. It's such an important reminder that like we need community. Community supports us. That creates our safety net. We're built for community. So, how can I create that support network within my life? And I think things like Reiki and meditation, obviously counseling, coaching, anything, whether it's yoga or qigong or tai chi, or even activities that you love, painting or being in a book club, somewhere where people are your tribe coming together to support each other, no matter what that goal is, whether it's just to get through a book or whether it's to get through the week. So just remember that anything that you find and social media can also be a support for you, can also be part of your tribe. And everybody is welcome. Everyone is welcome in my tribe. So if it feels like you don't have a place, just know that you do. You may not have found it, or it may not have been as aligned as you thought, but you will find your tribe. You will find your place. Things will get better, I promise. So we're just going to start. I know that was a long public service announcement. We're just going to start with a little bit of sage, especially, like I said, if anyone's struggling, if anyone's having a difficult time in their life. Norbert just had a big sigh. My dog had a big sigh. So I just want to clear it. I just want to start clearing it without putting the sage out. And then normally I would light a candle for us to set our intention, but instead I'm going to have us ground first. So if you're not used to grounding, it's just a process of setting setting your intention, really setting your focus on what you're doing, what you're thinking, because usually we're thinking we want to get back into the body. So just take a couple deep breaths with me. And breath work is so important when we're stressed or struggling. It helps to soothe our system, slow down the thoughts. We want to have calm body, calm mind. So with the grounding, I just want you to imagine that you have some sort of root, cord, however you want to imagine it, energetically unfurling from your body into the earth. You want to anchor in. So you want to imagine those cords or those roots going through whatever the floor is that your feet are on, or your chair bed's on, through the foundation of your home, into the top layers of the soil, pushing deeper into the fertile soil, and allowing it to extend all the way down to the heart of Mother Earth, where she's waiting to receive your grounding cords. She may give a little tug to let you know she has you. She's supporting you. And along these roots, along these cords, you can release anything that's not working for you, anything that's been creating struggle or stress or overwhelm for you. And even if it's something that you can't put your finger quite on what is the thing, you can just set that intention that I'm going to release anything that isn't serving me. And we want to imagine up from those roots, we're able to draw in energy, vitality. If we need some support with strength, we can draw up the strength of nature. If you've been feeling like you're lacking community, lacking support, imagine that your roots are being met by other roots. Even if it's not somebody that knows you, even if it's not somebody that you've met in real life, that energy comes together. You're supported by Mother Earth, and you're supported by all these willing people, these energetic bodies. They want to see you thrive. They are ready to coexist. They understand support and community. There's power in one, but there's strength in many. Just allow that support to be received. I know sometimes it's hard to receive support, but just allow that. You can always send thanks out. Thanks to whoever is supporting you energetically. Sometimes it's unseen and unknown, but it's sensed, it's felt in some way. Sending thanks for all who support you on your journey. All who will support you on your journey as well. And we're going to invite in your Reiki guides. You have them even if you don't know it. Your spirit guides. Any animal allies. I'm going to invite in Turkey Vulture. Vulture energy, vulture spirit. I've been working with that energy a lot this week for several different people. And this morning they were a reminder again that sometimes we need that support to kind of pull away the decay, right? Make room for healthier roots. Allow the little shoots, the little seeds to grow. So anywhere that you are needing some help, support, some guidance with removing that decay, that stuff that doesn't serve you. Also, we're going to invite in any ascended masters that embody renewal, rebirth, new beginnings, the hope of spring. Anyone who reminds us of the limitless possibilities. We invite in any of your ancestors. Again, all for your highest good. The ones that celebrate you and support you. The ones who offer their love and their wisdom. You can also invite in any archangels or goddesses that you're working with or have worked with, or even anyone that you're needing to work with. So I'm just going to begin sending Reiki for those who are ready to awaken to spring. You receive exactly what you're needing. For those who are still needing to heal, to recover, to bounce back, to reconnect back to your strength, to activate that inner warrior. May you receive what you're needing as well. And even though we all have that image of like a little plant growing from seed, to a little stalk, to a little plant or whatever with a flower eventually, even though that time-lapsed image feels very linear, our growth is not. It doesn't always follow a straight path. And so maybe just opening up a little bit to the possibility that, it could be easy breezy, one big leap, and there you are. But opening up to the possibility that it may take some twists and turns. But even if it does, you're going to be able to navigate that with support, tapping into co-creation. And even with the detours, you'll get back on your path. If you notice any tension or tightness, just set your intention on sending that down your grounding cord. Imagine with your exhale and the next breath, just releasing anything that doesn't serve you. If it feels like you've been dragging a little bit, let's just activate that solar plexus, a little bit above your belly button, your personal power. This might get a little wonky if we're doing too much of like people pleasing or saying yes when we want to say no, when we're engaged with things that don't feel fully aligned or don't feel fully supportive for us. This is our time to sort of step into that more aligned living, that more authentic living, giving ourselves permission, a little bit more permission to be our most authentic selves. The person who we are at soul level. And if it's felt like there's some confusion or some doubt about where you are in this point of your journey in your life, what you're deserving of or what's available to you, let's release some of that struggle. Oftentimes that comes from messages that we've received from family when we're little. It can be message from our culture, it could be messages from our religion. They're not based in truth, reality. They're based in lack and scarcity. There might have been something wonky with power and control. Just releasing anything that doesn't serve you. So you can have a little bit more clarity about where you are on your path, where you want to be on your path. What is your path? Sometimes we're not even sure about that. And just opening up to receiving those messages, those signs, those synchronicities, those nudges from our guides, our guardians. Anything that's encouraging us to keep taking step by step forward at our own pace. Courage to take aligned action and sort of the wisdom to know what's right for us and what we can pass on. So we want to remove some of the, not only the energetic blocks, but also any mental blocks, any limiting mindset, limiting beliefs. Again, they're usually not rooted in reality. It's kind of when our fear and doubt creeps in, but they're messages from the past that just keep echoing. This is a nice time to just release that, to just let it go, to maybe see yourself, see your gifts, your talents, who you are at soul level, maybe just to see that a little bit more clearly. You're more than your struggle, you're more than your pain, that's for sure. You have more to offer this world than just the struggle that you've experienced. There's wisdom in that. You might be helping somebody, sharing that wisdom or connecting with somebody with that, but just remembering we're more than that. So I just want to spend a little time at the heart chakra. You are a loving and compassionate soul. But so much pain gets trapped in the heart. You want to give so much to others and, do the right thing or offer a helping hand. We sort of forget that we need to start that process with ourselves, sending ourselves love and kindness and compassion. Just allowing that tenderness, that unconditional love to expand not only through your heart chakra, your heart center, but allowing that to radiate through your whole being. when we speak and act from a place of love and compassion and kindness, we're sort of sending out like a beacon, sort of like a, what do you call it? A lighthouse, right? We're sending that light out and it gets reflected back to us. So we find we have more experiences with love and kindness. We're not expecting it. Maybe people will do things that feel compassionate or loving, thoughtful, caring. And it's a 2-for-1 if we're giving that to the world, because not only does the world heal, but we heal as well. So holding on to that, just that loving, higher vibration of energy. Just take a minute to plant your seed, set your intention for what you're hoping to receive or experience during spring. And just imagine how that would feel, how it would change your life. If it would change the people around you as far as finding a new community, finding a new tribe. And take a moment just to acknowledge that you're open to receiving that. Sometimes the disconnect is that we're hoping for something, but we don't activate that openness to receiving that possibility that we can get the things that we want out of life. So this is the thing that I want, and I'm open to receiving it. And we're going to add on this or better, right? If the universe can come up with something better than what we imagined, which I'm pretty sure it can, I'm open to receiving this or better. So let's just seal that in. Just take a couple breaths. You may have to, if you've closed your eyes and have been still, you may have to move a little bit. I'm going to seal this in with just a little bit of sound. So this is, for a lot of people, a very exciting time. Spring for me is an exciting time. Is it always happy? Is it always flow? Is it always ease? Is there always, amounts of grace dolloped on? Not really. We can still have struggle. We can still see the struggle. I mean, we see the struggle every day in this world. There's so much pain and fear and anger out there. But we have to have a little bit of protective either strategies for ourselves or just an awareness that, like, I can't absorb that. And to kind of know, I've got this, how do I get there? There we go. I've got this and you can't read it, but it's the serenity prayer. We have to be able to discern between what is within our control and what isn't. And the things that we can't control, we do have to have some sort of mechanism of releasing that. Sometimes it's just reframing our thoughts about it. Sometimes it's a little bit more. But then the things that we can control, how can I create action steps that is going to make me feel like I have that power back, that I'm really harnessing my own personal power, that I'm able to act in a way that is aligned with my values, with my needs, that I'm working in integrity for myself and for others, obviously. But we want to focus on those things that we can control, those what ifs or those weird scenarios, or even that rescuing, wanting to rescue other people. It doesn't serve us, and it actually makes us feel even worse. So we want to move over to like, what can I control? And, I think it's really important, for now to think about, you know, this little ripple effect that you're going to have when you do start to heal yourself, when you do start to have a little bit more personal growth. We transform the world when we bring, positivity, love, openness into the world, right? Yeah, yeah, the teeny seed to seedling, and hopefully knowing that, like, for us, it's not as like linear is my word, but yeah, I think it can be a challenge, that we have at different iterations of growth that may not look that streamlined. So, I did want to say, it's funny. I was struggling earlier, with just something that, one of my, well, I wasn't struggling. My client was struggling. I was supporting what they were going through. And I'd pulled a card earlier about, just what do I need to know? And it wasn't even related to the client, but I just loved this. Whoops, let me get in the center. White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. I think when we're really doubting, and this may not be when we're really struggling and it's really feeling low or heavy for us, but when we are feeling like, I want this thing and I don't know how it's going to happen, I think it's like going back to that trust of like, it's going to unfold in the way that it needs to so that I can receive what I'm kind of, I say, like, deserving of. And so I think that is really important. And I didn't poll to see who was available to support. Everybody probably has their own guides, their own I always say like the higher wisdom, but like people, entities, however you conceptualize it. I know it's different for everybody, whether it's goddesses, archangels, whether it is ancestors, whether it is ascended masters. Sometimes people know the names of their guides, sometimes they don't, but I like to know, like, who's here to support us. It's really the energy. It's the energy of, um, you know, who they are. I don't know. I want to say a representation. Aw. So this is, whoops. Can't get my lefts and my rights right. So this is Sophia, Divine Wisdom. I love this. And I'm just going to read the end of this one. Whoops. Just to, I'll read the beginning and the end. Ah. It's alphabetical yet. The funny thing is, I was going to look up Diane, who's not in this. Divine wisdom. So human wisdom comes from personal experience, but divine wisdom is unknown to our life experience. When we ask for help, we are asking for guidance from a source greater than us, a great unknowable mystery. When we receive it, it is often life altering and affects us in ways beyond our comprehension. The Gnostic goddess Sophia, who brought the material world into being, arrives to show you how fate and destiny operate in relationship to synchronicity. When you least expect it, opportunities and meetings spring up as if out of nowhere. Your life begins to work out and you sense your alignment with a higher purpose and power. Trust you are divinely protected and directed. Practice the act of faith before results. This is an essential key in co creating your world. I like that. That's a lot of the messages that we sort of touched on before Reiki and during Reiki. And I think it's important for us to know that there's something bigger out there than us, and it does not have to be in any sort of religious context, but knowing that there is some intelligence and there is some form or matter, however you want to conceptualize it. For me, it's usually energy, but it shows up. It shows up in form. It shows up in substance. It shows up in, signs and synchronicities that we receive from our world, from our daily life, daily experiences. So hopefully this is helpful. I know what I had thought I was going to do, I sort of scrapped it. And so we're sort of we're going off script. And who knows what happens when I do that. But I did forget to introduce who I am, so you'll have to go and read who I am at one of my links, and go up to the bio and read that. But if you're hoping to receive a little bit more support, Sunday I am doing Sacred Circle. It's a monthly guided meditation. We tap into some energies. It's goddess energy and animal spirit energy for not only their wisdom, but for their support, for their guidance. And so we'll do a little bit of guided meditation and a little bit of Reiki for that. That is Sunday on Insight Timer at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I think my next Insight Timer is not for a few weeks. So otherwise, I will see you next Friday at noon. If anyone has any questions or wants to learn a little bit more about what I do or how to work with me, you can head over to my website, riversjourneywellness.com. There's a little more information, obviously, over there. And otherwise, I wish everybody well. I hope you connect to your community. I hope you use support when you need it. I hope you're able to take care of yourself with whatever form of self-care is best for you. And just know that if it's a struggle right now, it's going to loosen up at some point. You're going to have a little bit of clarity, and you're going to be able to take those steps to, the direction that you want in your life, as opposed to feeling stuck in a state of struggle. So you're welcome, Sharon. It was lovely seeing you, even though I can't see you. I know you're here. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next week.